Hey guys, and welcome to the first of a new series. Every day this week I'm going to be going through features of a partner background and suggesting and showing you guys ways which you can improve them and create really nice designs. So today I'm going to be going over menus. It's basically where you're going to be keeping your icons like your Twitter, your Facebook, and maybe the designer logo if you're doing a job for someone else. So let's get started. These are 3 designs I'm going to be going through today. I'm just going to start off with this first one. It's a block module with the glowing effect. It was a little rushed when making an example, but let's hope we can make a nicer, cleaner design in production. So let's get in to the tutorial. So we're going to select our marquee tool and create a rectangle. Don't want it to be too wide. I think I'll only do 4 icons. Just let go when you're ready. And then we're going to create a new layer, and while holding down Control we're going to press backspace, which will fill it with our background layer. It doesn't matter what colour it is because it's going to be changing that in the layer styles. I'm just going to click away and we're going to position this in the middle. There we go. Now we're going to right click on the layer, go to blending options, or you can double click on the preview image. What we're going to be doing now is reducing the fill opacity, which will take away the fill of the colour that we just had. This is why it didn't matter earlier on what colour our background was. Now we're going to go to our gradient tool, and we're going to select 2 colours, 2 dark shades. Here we're going to just change where it says B from 0 to 10. Whoops, 10. As you can see, it's gone up slightly on the grey scale here. We're going to do a similar thing here to the white, just going to reduce it down to 40. Which means it comes down to a darker grey. Click OK, OK again, and we're also going to add a drop shadow. The default settings are okay, but I'm just going to increase my size to 15 and my distance to 3. And it gives it a softer effect. Selecting OK now, we're going to go to our marquee tool again. Just going to zoom in. I'm holding down Alt and scrolling with my wheel, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know. The wheel on my mouse, that is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select our box. Alternatively, if you're trying to go for a neater result, I'm just going to go to my layer preview, go right click it, go to select pixels, and then we'll go to select up in the top menu bar, modify, contract, and we can contract this shape that our marquee tool selected by, I'm going to say 8 pixels. And that's worked out very neatly, so it's reduced the shape by 8 pixels. So we're going to create a new layer, and we're again going to go Control Backspace, and because would just be one button, we don't want it to be that big, of course. So I'm just going to select what I don't need. I'd say that's okay, and just hit delete. So now we're going to be editing our first button. Just double click on the preview image, or right click and go to blending options. And here we're just going to take away the fill opacity, go to color overlay and set it to black. I know it was just black, but I think that adjusting the color and the layer styles is more consistent if you're duplicating something. So now it's black, which we click OK. Reduce the opacity down to 40. So now you can see it's just a dark black box. Finally, what we're going to do is go to inner glow. Forgotten where it is, there it is. Going to set it to normal, black, increase the range, which increases the intensity of the inner glow, and also going to increase the size. There we go. So size 40, range 100, opacity 75, and blend mode normal. So now we've done that, we're going to click OK, and we're done for the shape. So now you're going to be wanting to import your icon. So I've already got my Twitter icon in the document. I'm going to be using that for all my buttons. I'm just going to duplicate it by holding down Control and pressing J. Hide the original one and bring this up. Now I'm just going to position my icon where I want it in the box. There we go. I think that's the right size. Hit Enter to accept the transformation options. So now we've got our Twitter logo in the middle there. All we need to do, this is very simple, we go into blending options again. I'm sure you noted by now. Take away the fill opacity. Now we're going to add inner shadow, and then we're going to add color overlay. We're going to make the color overlay white, and then reduce it down to 10%. And as you can see, it's already done. So we've got the basis of our design done now. All we need to do is add the color effect. So let's just go back to our preview. As you can see, they had these color glows on them. So we're just going to go back and add that. So what we're going to do for this is get a brush. We're going to make it size 180 pixels with a hardness of 0, which makes it a large soft brush. Oops. And then we're going to select our color. I'm going to go with red. And making sure this is on a new layer. I've already created one. We're going to go over where we want the glow to be and just click. Simple as. What we need to do now is we're going to reduce the opacity down to, I'd say 20%. Sounds good. Yep, it looks good. And now we're going to go to our box, so the area of which our logo is put inside. And it's this one here, I think. Yep. I'm going to right click in the preview, like we did earlier, go to select pixels, go to select in the top menu, modify, oh my bad, sorry, invert, just after going to select. And then you're just going to hit delete. Or sometimes if that's not working, you should get your eraser and rub out what you don't need. Oh, not selecting the right layer, that's why. There we go. So now as you can see, we've got a red glow. It's in the boundary of the box, and it's on top of the icon. If you want, you can experiment with overlays like soft light, which gives it a more mellow effect, and color, which is slightly different, of course. And you can fiddle about with what you want and edit these as you will. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to keep to the original design. So a quick way of making more buttons like this now, rather than have to create the same thing over and over again, is what we're going to do is select all the layers for the button. It's these three here, and then press Ctrl G to group them. Now you can see they're all in a group. I'm just going to name this button 1. Whoops, I had caps lock on. Button 1. Now we're going to hit Ctrl J to duplicate the group. We're going to bring the group across, and as you can see, we've already got another button exactly the same. So what we need to do for this is go in, and for this one here, we're going to select the pixels of the box. We're going to go to the top of this this group and hit new layer. And now we're going to use a tip which I taught you guys in my color video. So we're going to select the color we want. So I'm going to select blue, and then we're going to fill this new layer. Oops, my bad, I've got a texture set. No, we're going to fill this layer. So as you can see, it's now created a blue box. And we're going to change our blending options to hue. As you can see, it just changes the color of red to blue without making too many other changes. And you can keep repeating this to get the desired effect. As you can see, I've created green and yellow as well. So we're going to leave that and go on to the next one now. First, for saving time, I'm going to group all these layers to the first menu and move that up. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the next one. This one's very quick, just moving briskly on because I know this tutorial video is taking longer than it should do. Very simple and very quick to create the second one, this bar effect. I kind of ruined the corners because I had to squish it up a little bit to fit more icons in. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, and we're going to select our rounded rectangle tool. And one thing I'll point out is when you create your rectangle, you notice the corners are rounded. You can change how much they round by using this radius selection up here. So I'm just going to delete what I've done and create a new layer again. And I'm going to change my radius to 60. Now you can see they're much more curved, which is what I want. So I'm just going to create this bar. There we go. It doesn't matter about the outline, but you can change that up here. We're going to be changing it in a second anyway. Let me just change. I'll leave this guy. My bad. Alright, so as you can see, it doesn't matter about it, about the outline and so on, because we're going to be changing the blending options. What we're going to do is rasterize the layer now. Go into blending options. I'm going to take away the fill opacity, and then we're going to go to color overlay, make it black, make the opacity 50, inner glow, blend mode to normal, color to black, and then we're just going to play around with the size and the opacity until we get the effect that we want. We want it to be looking as if it's got some sort of indent effect. Another thing we can do to increase this is by going to outer glow, which is near the bottom, selecting blend mode normal, going to color white, increasing the range all the way and increasing the size, and then just reducing the opacity, which makes the outer area lighter, which is very nice. So as you can see, we've got the effect that we want now. And now we're basically going to be doing what we did for these previous buttons, the exact same for the buttons, for the Twitter logo. So I'm just going to bring in a new Twitter logo. I'm going to reduce the size. It's exactly the same layer style as that. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go and find this layer style. So I'm going to go into my first group, find my button, and I found the Twitter logo here. So I'm going to right click on the layer, go to copy layer style, and I'm going to go to my Twitter layer in the current design. I'm going to go right click, go to paste layer style, and it will take all these changes and add it to this menu bar here. So now as you can see, it's still not very clear, so let's go to the previous example. And as you can see, we had a slightly different effect here. That's because we've got a plain background here, and in this design we've got a textured background. So what I'm going to do temporarily is just add a new background layer, make it a light grey, and there we go. So as you can see, you can play around with the layer style settings, of course. If you've got a textured background, you can increase the opacity of the background of the Twitter icon, so it's clearer. And that's the second design. The third design is another quick one. Very, very easy to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to create just group these ones first. Now all we need to do is get our brush, select a colour. I'm going to go with green. Just blob our colour down there. Now we need to find our Twitter logo. Here we are. Just need to position and size it inside the glow. You want to have some of the glow outside of the image, just to give a bit of a border. I think I'll make it a little bit smaller than that. There we go. And all we need to do is go select pixels on the Twitter logo. Now we're going to go to the glow effect and click delete. And then we hide the Twitter logo, and as you can see, it's just removed the area of the Twitter logo from the glow effect, as you can see here. So all we're going to do now is, we could use that as an icon, but what I've done in the previous design is I've made them more multicolored, which I think is pretty nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a layer above this, and we're going to set it to hue, and we're going to get some more paintbrushes, and we're just going to colour it in with just a few colours. So it's very nice, very quick, very easy. You could try using this for the whole of your design, in fact, not just your logo icons. Let's just try making the brush a little bit smaller, maybe. It's looking very nice. And there we go. We're done. You could create several of these, and the beauty of it is that you can still edit the original layer without worrying about changing the color, because the color is a separate layer. So that concludes this tutorial for today. I've hoped you've learned something from it and you can use it in your own designs. I really would like to see some of your designs, guys. If you ever make anything with using one of these tutorials, I'd love to see you submit them and share them. As always, you can go to Image Shack, so imageshack.us I think it is, and you can upload your images and just paste the link in the comment section and tell me what you think. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon. I'll be bringing out another video tomorrow on another element, and I'll see you around.